Okay, we're checking the bread to see if it is finished. Hi Tammy, how are you? Thank you for joining. Check the bread. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's a wonderful sound.
Before I do this, I want to give a plug to one of my favorite kitchen utensils. It's called Oat Glove. It's an insulated glove with rubber grips on it, and it's the greatest thing in the world for taking hot things out of the oven. So, let's start with this one.
Look at
and
Kitty.
see
Oh,
what it looks like.
look at that.
I'm going to say that's done. That thumps and sounds good. It looks good. And so we'll take these out. Now, I want to say a couple of things about where we go from here, because one of the things you do not want to do is leave the bread in the pan. If you leave the bread in the pan, it condensate from the steam in the bread will form around the side and bottom crust, and it will just get soggy. So you want to put it out on a cooling rack, and I'll do that in a couple of minutes. And the other thing you don't want to do is eat it right away. You want to wait until it cools down to at least where it's just warm before you cut it. It'll be very difficult to cut at this point because the crust is very firm. The inside, because it still has a lot of steam in it, is going to be very soft, even though the proteins have coagulated at this point and it's all very nicely cooked. It's still got too much moisture in it. And if you are going to wrap your bread, you want to let it cool until it is absolutely dead cold, or you will get condensate. If you put it inside like a Ziploc bag or something, the inside of the bag will just be soaked from all of the steam coming off the bread if you don't let it cool. So a couple hours, even overnight, the bread will be good overnight. If you're going to, sometimes we don't eat both loaves before it would start to get a little bit stale. So it's a good idea to freeze the bread if you want to keep it for any length of time. Wrap it as tightly as you can, get as much air out of the bag if you're going to put it in a Ziploc bag. Put it in the freezer, again, not until it's dead cold, room temperature. And it will keep for several weeks in the freezer. And when you take it out, like the night before you want to use it, and it will be almost as good as the day you made it when it comes out of the freezer. So bread freezes very well. Just you can't freeze it for 6 months. It'll get freezer burn if you do that. But for a couple of weeks, it's just fine. We are going to have this bread for dinner. We're going to have it with some cheese and some ginger spread that we got today, and I expect it's going to be just wonderful. Of course, we're going to have some wine with it as well.
That goes without saying.
Thanks for joining us on this little baking adventure today, and if anybody's interested, we'll try this again with some different kinds of breads later on.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Parts 1, 2, and 3 are already uploaded onto the website conniecaps.org/periscope. And if you have any questions, you can email me, lmb@conniecaps.org. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Tammy. And we'll see you again. Thanks.